Twitch. Oh my God, Twitch. Twitch is there ever nice news about Twitch? Like, can you recall a headline where amazingly nice things happening? I mean, I guess that's just not headlines in general. It's always got to be some controversy. So I guess that makes sense. Anyway, Twitch has banned major gambling sites after streamers threatened strike. The streamers themselves did not like this thing. I guess the thinking was that they were essentially influencing people and persuading people to gamble. Mm-hmm. And to what degree there's a responsibility on the end of the streamer to kind of manage that. Obviously, gambling has regulation.
Yeah.
Because it's a somewhat dangerous activity for some people.
I guess liability to Twitch themselves as well.
I don't know. The key, at least initially, looks to be targeting ungoverned international online gambling. If you read it, I mean, okay, here we go. Gambling content on Twitch has been a big topic of discussion in the community and something we've been actively reviewing since our last policy update in this area. Today, we want to update you on our plans. While we prohibit sharing links or referral codes to all sites that include slots, roulette, or dice games, we've seen some circumvent those rules and expose our community to potential harm. So we'll be making a policy update October 18th. Why October 18th? Okay. That's weird. Wouldn't you do it immediately if it was bad? October 18th to prohibit streaming of gambling sites that include slots, roulette, or dice games that aren't licensed either in the U.S. or other jurisdictions that provide sufficient consumer protection. These sites will include stake.com, but that's Drake's site that he's streaming, and I think he's a part owner or something, and there's a crypto element, and I don't even know where the company's registered. Some Caribbean or something. Yeah. I don't know. Rollbit.com, dualbits.com, and roobet.com. However, we may identify others as we move forward. We will continue to allow websites to focus on sports betting, fantasy sports, and poker. That's interesting, isn't it? Those gamblings are fine.
Yeah.
These gamblings, not fine. Kind of get it. There's definitely levels to it. We'll share specifics on the updates to our gambling policy soon, including a full policy language to make sure everyone is clear on our new rules before they take effect on October 18th. The gambling thing, it obviously exploded. I saw an ad on TV watching a sporting event where, probably a Jays game, and it was about gambling responsibly. Like how inside your sports betting app, it would prompt you to take a break or to take some time off gambling. Did you see this?
No.
And I was sitting there thinking, how is this good for business? Or is this mandated in some way? Or is it impending doom where everyone's feeling this is getting out of hand and that there's going to be more regulation incoming if it continues to run rampant and people are ruining their lives? I don't know if that's exactly what's going on, but I found this particular ad to be a curious one. Anyway, I guess what's interesting here is that prominent Twitch streamers themselves had noticed this trend and had kind of organized against it. Mm-hmm. Here's a quote from Pokimane. "We did it, y'all. They got 300,000 people expressing support against gambling streams in a single day. Public pressure tweets raising awareness. It all matters." Yeah, that news was blowing up. There was funny business going on. Streamers themselves had been swindled. Viewers had been swindled. The gambling thing is risky business, but it does seem Twitch is constantly embroiled in something. Uh-huh. Having to govern something. It's tough when the brand image is always like this. Mm. And it's like, don't you find it to be so different than like YouTube or Instagram or something? I mean, they have their own image issues at times.
Yeah.
But Twitch...
Well, if you have like the most popular streamer, which is, I don't know, XQC, and he's doing, live streaming gambling for hours, That's not really a good look for Twitch or live streaming in general. Imagine on YouTube side, Mr. Beast is gambling for like
No.
a 24-hour live
I get
stream.
it, but Will, this gets really squirrely about gambling. Like whatever. Because you saw them say sports betting's okay, or you saw them say poker is okay. Like you might watch poker for entertainment, and you have no problem yourself with it. Or you might watch sports and bet on sports and have no problem with it.
Right.
There's some combination of factors. The way you're doing it, how you're describing it, who you're targeting. Is it young people? Is it adults? Are there any disclaimers? Anytime you see an ad, please bet responsibly, this and that going on. So the formatting really seems to matter. Not just the activity, but the formatting. Who is it going out to? Like, who is the fan base? What are the disclaimers? And what is the proposition? What is the, I think like with roulette or something, it's so.
Well, it's robotic to a certain point, right? Slots, roulette, dice.
I'm always skeptical of those things. I'm inherently skeptical of those things. No, I mean online.
But when you're dealing with like,
well, I mean
sports
online.
betting-
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, if I see somebody promoting one of these sites or posting it on social media, I'm like, okay, well, the company could have a relationship with that individual, right? Isn't that something to be concerned with? In which case, their profile may have a higher likelihood. And I know this stuff is strictly prohibited and illegal, but it would be difficult to police it and figure out how legitimate these results are. And if people are even seeing a proper timeline of activities and outcomes, and then they're getting a false sense of win potential or win percentage or whatever. I'm not saying that's going on. I'm not launching a formal complaint or an accusation against anybody. I don't know. But I'm just talking about an apprehension that I would have, and I think a lot of other people would have around that representation and the legitimacy of that representation. But anyway, this looks like consumer protection plays a big role because they're saying the sites that are getting targeted are the ones that are not in the U.S. or a jurisdiction that provides that sufficient customer protection. Whatever that means, a number of disclaimers, limits probably for deposits in a certain period of time, certain amount of gaming that you're allowed to do in a certain amount of time, and so on and so forth. And truthfully, even if you're a responsible player, you want these type of things to be in place because it can all get screwed up if some people ruin it. And by ruin it, I mean don't behave responsibly.
Yeah.
So you kind of, as much as it might bug you, if the whole thing goes fully haywire, it could affect anybody who enjoys these products responsibly, is what I'm trying to say. But then there's the Twitch angle on it. And obviously that's a different piece where Twitch streamers often seem to have problems with things going on Twitch, controversies and so forth. And seemingly they don't have the correct connection point where they can have a change take place without making a big public discussion take place. And then it has to turn into Twitch's brand taking a hit in public. But I don't know. Maybe they put out the statement and they appear to be responsive, and maybe that is perceived as positive. Like, hey, Twitch can get called out and make a change, and so we have this two-way street where we can kind of make this community what we all agree to. Anyway, obviously for some creators, this was a very big deal, and they felt that the brand and their own brand getting caught up and tied up with it, that there was some sort of negative effect there.
Sure.
And now they've been able to spin that around. But I'm sure, just like everything else in life, there's a counterpoint and there's somebody who disagrees.
Absolutely.
And wants to get on there and wants to get on stake and wants to play some roulette right now for their audience and was maybe making a lot of money, and maybe a lot of people were watching that and getting entertained.
Yeah.
It's all about trying to do it in a responsible way, and I don't know that there is a way. This is a very squirrely topic.
And for the record, playing roulette on Twitch is, it's fine. It's just got to be
not anymore by the looks of it. Not anymore by the looks of it. Slots, roulette, and dice games that aren't licensed in the U.S. But it's weird. Okay, so what if it's a slot, roulette, or dice game licensed in the U.S.? But I guess there's maybe not many of those. Maybe that's the point. We'll continue to allow websites focus on sports betting, fantasy sports, and poker. It's interesting. Those ones, for some reason, feel more competitive or legitimate or something, I guess. Established.
What's established?
Well, I like poker has an entertainment scene. You have prominent players inside of that scope. Like, should they really not be able to stream? Like, let's say you're a professional poker player. Like, what if you're a professional chess player? Right? You're in a competitive event. People want to pay attention to that. They want to watch that. You're great at what you do. Is it the same as somebody doing a roulette stream for 6 or 7 hours, spinning that? Depositing, spinning, linking? Like, I don't know. They're definitely not exactly the same.
Well, this seems like an ongoing discussion.
Yeah.
It seems like this might be just the first step.
And full disclosure from my end, I don't know every in and out. I don't know all the accusations. I realize that a lot of it was prompted from one individual who had defrauded people out of money in order to support their own gambling habit. And then things started to trickle down from there. But yeah, I think it's going to be debated for a while now.